will also be on hand tomorrow in the classrooms as well.
Allegations of racial discrimination at one Richmond elementary school. The mother of a 14-year-old says her white son was the target of a prejudiced teacher. Ray Saya has details.
Stephanie, tomorrow morning, a detective from the Department of Safety and Security at Richmond Public Schools will meet with 14-year-old Davin Meek. The meeting has been set up to find out exactly what happened yesterday at Elkhart Middle School. According to Kim Meek, the mother of the 8th grader, her son was the victim of racial discrimination. This is only an allegation. Nothing has been proven. Today, in an afternoon news conference, Meek told her version of the story. She says her son, the only white student in class, was asked by his black teacher to leave the room to wash his hands. Later in the day, a couple of classmates told Davin Meek that while he was gone, the teacher told the black students that it was because of people like Davin that black people couldn't get jobs.
I know my son very well, and I'm not one of these mothers that'll jump and go, oh, my son, you know. I checked this out. I know my son, he didn't want to have all of this big deal made of it. He didn't understand the importance. He would rather go about his life. So I know, there's no doubt in my mind.
Now, late this afternoon, the Richmond Public Schools responded to the allegations with this letter. It briefly states the school district is aware of the situation and will investigate. The alleged incident took place less than 24 hours ago, and we remind you it is based on information from two 14-year-old students. We asked the mother today, why not go to the school first instead of hire a lawyer? She says she just wanted a thorough investigation. She says she doesn't want any money from this, just an apology and a transfer for her son and disciplinary action against this instructor.
All right, thank you, Ray Saya. A Petersburg woman faces more charges, bathtub death of her baby 4 months ago. For more on the story, here's our Tri-Cities Bureau Chief, Wayne Colville. Wayne?
Ray, 24-year-old Tracy Michelle Austin is now facing 2 more charges, felony murder and felony child abuse. In May, she was arrested and charged originally with first-degree murder. Now, police say Austin gave birth in her bathtub inside this apartment and then left the baby alone for several hours. Austin alleges the baby was stillborn. The medical examiner's autopsy revealed the baby drowned.
Miss Austin has never even been in any kind of trouble whatsoever, and I think this is what she's been charged with is not indicative of her behavior.
We went to the grand jury with additional charges so that we could cover all bases, both first-degree and second-degree murder. The additional charges are felony murder and felony child abuse.
Now, Austin turned herself in to police this morning. She is free tonight on the same $10,000.
No shows, back to back.
Henrico man shoots his daughter, sets their home on fire, then kills himself. Live, local, late breaking. 8 News is coming up next.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 8 News.
A Henrico community is in shock tonight after 2 school-age daughters are murdered by a suicidal father. Good evening, I'm Juan Condi.
And I'm Lisa Schaffner. Welcome to 8 News Tonight. A 50-year-old Cynthia Mason, the mother, is the only family member alive tonight to tell police what happened. She escaped that terror just seconds before the fatal gunshots rang out. The bodies of her 2 daughters, ages 7 and 11, along with her husband, 35-year-old David Wayne Mason, were carried from their Asbury Road home just before noon today. SWAT teams arrived overnight and broke into their home. Kerosene-driven flames actually forced them back. But it was already too late. All 3 had died of gunshot wounds. Neighbors awoke today in shock.
I just saw the little girl Bethany yesterday going down the street with her dad. They were just jogging down the street. It's unreal that this can happen.
But neighbors tell us that there were warning signs. David Mason was arrested back in May and charged with domestic assault. And neighbors also say he was often heard yelling.
The 2 girls, Amanda and Elizabeth Mason, known as Mandy and Beth, were both so young. Mandy was 11 and at Tuckahoe Middle School. Beth was 7 and at Pinchbeck Elementary. School system counselors were on hand to talk to kids at both schools today, and notes were sent home to parents informing them of the situation.
At school, nobody really knew except for the people that lived around here, but the people that found out, they're like really shocked.
Henrico school officials say counselors will be on hand as long as kids need to talk.
Well, a Chesterfield husband and wife who molested their 2 young daughters will spend years behind bars. The father, who we are not naming tonight in order to protect the children's identity, received a 60-year jail term today. His wife, 25 years. According to prosecutors, she suffers from multiple sclerosis. The couple, over a period of years, sexually abused their 11 and 14-year-old daughters, sometimes videotaping those encounters.
A young mother whose newborn son drowned in a toilet has been charged with felony child neglect. It happened in Isle of Wight County last week. The teen gave birth to the baby in her bathroom. Now, autopsy results showed the baby was alive at birth, but drowned in the commode. The 16-year-old mother's name isn't being released because of her age. If convicted, she could be facing 10 years in prison.
Well, a 13-year-old boy is under arrest tonight in Mexico, accused of gunning down students at a Mexican elementary school. One child was killed, another was injured as they were hit by bullets while playing soccer during recess. Police say the suspected gunman goes to a nearby high school. Investigators are still trying to figure out tonight why he shot the kids. Counselors have been called in to talk with those children who witnessed the shooting. Well, a Washington, D.C. teen is dead after being shot on a metro bus. Police have arrested another teenager that they think killed 17-year-old Theodore Gavin. Eyewitnesses say the suspect put the gun through the window of the bus and shot Gavin at point-blank range. Both the suspect and the victim went to school together at Ballou High School in the southeast part of Washington. Police do not know what sparked that shooting.
All accusations of discrimination are being leveled against a Richmond middle school by a white student. For details tonight, let's go to the newsroom where 8 News reporter Michael Flynn is live. Michael, what exactly is the young man's claim?
Well, Juan, his mom claims the teacher sent him out of class so that teacher could talk to just the black students about discrimination.
He doesn't have any prejudices, and so it was very painful to know that he had to experience that.
The mother of 14-year-old Davin Meek, he told her that a teacher sent him out of a class here at Elkhart Middle School yesterday without giving a reason. Meek is the only white student in that class and says other students later told him what the teacher supposedly said while he was gone, that it was because of people like Devin that blacks could not get jobs, that because he's white, he would get their jobs in the future.
I've taught my son the right way, but it upsets me that I sent him in, to a school where I thought that I could, to some degree, trust those who are role models, and this happens. It's very disappointing.
Meek's attorney says they have requested the school system punish the teacher, transfer Devin, and investigate what the 8th graders told Devin.
A 14-year-old is someone who necessarily does not have an agenda as an adult may. What's the old adage, ask a kid a question, you may not want the truthful answer?
Mom believes it's the truth and is afraid all the students in that class got a first-hand lesson in discrimination.
My son will get over it because I know how I've raised him. I've raised him the right way. But what about the kids in that classroom? The influence this teacher has over those kids, that seed, that thought that's been planted. What about the other kids, potentially other kids that have been influenced by this teacher? That's devastating to me.
Meek's mother is keeping him home from school for now. The school system says an investigation has been launched into the claims. Live in the newsroom tonight, Michael Flynn, 8 News.
Well, a full investigation is underway tonight into why a Henrico County Jail inmate